Hello, everyone. Thank you for staying tuned with us. My name is ChengTu Hsieh from the California State University, Chico. In this video, I'll be showing you an example of how to set up a short problem-based learning activity by following the first few steps covered in our previous videos. In addition, you may also find the links to a couple more examples on the website for your references. Before diving into the design, let us do a short recap of the previous videos. When you first embark on writing a PBL activity, you might consider the following questions. First, what do you want students to be able to do upon completion of this problem? Basically, this is your learning objective. The design of the problem is more of content knowledge acquired or transferable skill gained, or both. Second, what information do you intend to provide in your PBL? That is, you would like to design a real-world scenario, or you would like to use a database scenario from research articles, or blended. What information would you like your students to research for the problem? How will you and the students know the problem has been successfully completed, and how are you going to assess it? Here is an example of a short problem-based learning activity that can last about 15 to 20 minutes, either online synchronously or in-person format. This is to let students practice and apply the concept gained in the previous class or for a flipped classroom design. First, let's identify the student's background for this problem. The target group is undergraduate students first time taking introductory biomechanics class with human anatomy as the only prerequisite. The learning objective of this short activity is to ensure students' understanding of the impulse-momentum relationship. Specifically, students need to be able to identify the consequence of the movement when variables are manipulated or controlled, and further to apply this concept in the scenario provided and propose possible solutions qualitatively. The activity is set up for a small group of 2 to 3 students to work together in person or online synchronous format. Because the goal is to see if students understand the concept of impulse-momentum relationship, frequently a common type of question like example 1 will be, please discuss the possible suggestions to improve throwing performance. However, this question can be difficult since it is general and vague, which leads to increased confusion for and/or question from students. The design of the second example from a real-world scenario will put students in a situation to solve the problem cooperatively. Your scenario should include detailed and applied information, specific content questions related to the type of performance, and specific questions relating to the outcome of the performance. Please feel free to pause the video and look at both examples. After setting up the major scenario, you will need to design a set of multi-stage guided questions to promote students' discussion to navigate through this process. The types of prompting questions depends on students' level of struggles. For example, the first question is for students who are still struggling with the concept itself. However, how do you know what students already know? When running this PBL activity, after the main scenario is presented, the instructor may move around the classroom and check the students' progress in each group. Or you may request upon your arrival, the group must ask at least 2 questions for you to check their understanding and progress. Depending on their questions, you may decide which of the multi-stage questions may be appropriate to guide this group through the process. For example, a very common issue is that students share that they are comfortable with the concept, but they have difficulty to connect to the performance of javelin throw. Then the third question may be a good hint or good start for students to move on. Of course, if you're interested in quantitative analysis skill, you may include database information to prompt students to perform some calculation. Throughout the presentations, we have described and discussed how PBL activity can be very useful to engage students' learning. We have covered a short version of PBL activity design that can be used in multiple formats. We also provide a couple more PBL examples on the website, one of which is a comprehensive PBL design spanning several weeks. Before we leave you, here are some takeaway messages. Our intent today was to provide some general procedures about designing effective PBLs, However, there are multiple right ways of doing it. The success of PBL is not to toss out what you currently have, but to review your current example and adapt the materials to include critical components for encouraging a culture of active learning and scientific inquiry in your class. Keep up the faith. Some examples may require multiple revisions before you hit the sweet spot. And what you will find is that the success of your PBL examples may vary according to the class, students, etc. Finally, if you have any question or would like to bounce off ideas, please feel free to contact any one of us who will be happy to share our ideas with you too. Thank you for your attention. See you at our PBL workshop.